Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Gnut. Whether this is a welcome or a welcome back to the channel, I just want to thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. We've got over 50 Topps case hits ranked on a tier list style. I, again, want to thank you so much for watching. This was a lot of fun to make. I'm sorry for keeping you waiting so long after the Panini version. As you can probably see around me, I'm in a new setting. I actually moved, so all my computer stuff was packed up for a few months. Just getting settled now, got all the computer stuff out, and I am ready to get back to it, so you can expect some more content coming out. Without further ado, let's get to the tier list. Here it is in all its glory, the Topps case hit tier list. I went ahead and blurred it as not to spoil too much. Let's start with tier F. You knew it was coming. We had to start off with a hot take. We've got the members only from Stadium Club. Now, I'm sorry to all my viewers over 35 years old that are holding their head in their hands right now, cursing the screen. They just threw their phone across the room. I'm sorry, but I had to do it. I hate these things. Stadium Club is a phenomenal set. The photography is just second to none. And then they had to ruin it by putting this massive foil stamp on it that really just doesn't add anything to the design. I'm not a huge fan of these things. I think the idea behind the members only set and the history behind the members only set is really interesting, but unfortunately this design is not. The Diamond Dominance. Now, one thing that's going to hamper a lot of these lower tier cards is going to be something that we are going to call insertitis. And that is the card just looks way too much like your run-of-the-mill insert that Topps products are already chock full of. Another poor soul afflicted with insertitis. It's very sad to see. Another supposedly rare card that just doesn't look all that special. Rounding out tier F is the Beam Team. Yes, the Beam Team. Hold on, don't send that comment yet. Not this Beam Team, this Beam Team. This thing is just terrible. This is a beanie wearing, latte drinking, hipster version of the Beam Team, and it is just, it's horrible. Kicking off tier E, we've got a good one. I'm just kidding, we got another turd. It is the Megastars. These things just, again, look way too much like an insert. You're going to hear me say that a lot. I do at least appreciate that Topps put the effort in to give the players a team color matching background. They didn't just do one flat design for all the players. So that's the only reason that this thing's not in the F tier. The Big Kahuna. Now, half of my hatred for this card lies in the fact that I just had to record myself speaking the words Big Kahuna into a camera, but the other half just lies in how kind of jarring and out of left field this card seems to be. Stella Nova. Now, if you watch the Panini version of this very same video, you will know that I have no love for the die cut. I think that the die cut machine over at Topps must have been getting dusty. They needed an excuse to fire it up, so they came up with this thing. Superfly. Now, I'm sure that one of the prerequisites for Topps acquiring the rights to the McDonald's All-American game and the subsequent card set was that they had to feature the McDonald's logo somewhere on the card, but, I mean, you couldn't have put it on the back. We've got the 3-for-1 combo here, the Dazzling Debuts, Gladiators of the Diamond, and Crushed. Sorry, I had to refer to my notes there. These things would all instantly be bumped up one tier if they managed to lose the goofy writing on them. Mom, can we have Color Blast? We have Color Blast at home. Color Blast at home. Mojo from UEFA Chrome. Now, I really like the Mojo patterns that have been adopted by Panini and Topps. I do think this thing would look a lot better if the pattern did a little bit more talking as opposed to the strange shape behind the card. I think it would look phenomenal with literally just the player on a Mojo background. Not only does this poor soul find itself afflicted with insertitis, but it also is afflicted by what we're going to call non-licenseditis. Platinum Performers. Now, these things sell for a decent amount, which I will quite frankly never understand. This thing looks more like an insert than, quite frankly, I think any other card in this tier list that I'm telling you looks like an insert. The Fiesta from Finest. Now, I don't hate this card. Quite frankly, I think maybe I was a little harsh to it in my initial ranking, but I can't shake the feeling that it could be so much better, especially when compared with something like the Celebracion that we'll see a little bit later down this list. Patriotic Pride, our first tennis inclusion. Now, I like the idea for this card, but that's about the best that I can say for it. I think it's a little strange that the flags are kind of crystallizing into these Dorito-esque shapes, and I hate the back of this card. It's way too plain. I never like that. I always think it's nice when the design kind of carries over to the back of the card, and that is nowhere to be found with this thing. Joga Bonito. Now, Topps is sitting on an 0-2 count with these things. The initial version suffered way too much from insert-itis, and the latest 2023 iteration was damn near impossible to read. Hopefully they won't strike out when it comes to the third attempt. Oh, so bad. Oh, so stupid. Alrighty, Tier C has the most cards out of any tier in this video, and we could not kick it off with a better card. We've got the Aaron Judge Paw Patrol series. Now, these things find themselves in the C tier not due to any relevance to the sport of baseball, but purely just due to how absurd they are. Aaron Judge's cartoon profile is absolute nightmare fuel, but I do like the Rubble Crew badge. This is a case hit, and it exists. I don't love this card by any stretch, but I do appreciate it. I like when Topps and Panini theme cards and designs to the actual sport and kind of make a one-off, and I really think that this thing just screams UFC. Urban Legends. Now, I'm a fan of this design and its simplicity. Unfortunately, it comes from a set where case hits were just printed to absolute oblivion, and I don't think it being unlicensed is the end of the world, but it is definitely something to take note of. Sign Off. This is another card that I don't love, but I don't hate. I think it could be a lot worse, but at the same time could be a lot better. I like the concept, but I think they just missed the mark a tad bit here. Infinite from Sapphire. I'm sorry guys, you may find this to be a hot take, but quite frankly to me, the only thing saving this card from being 2 to 3 tiers lower is the value. Which, side note, which one of you sick individuals is paying $63 of your hard-earned money on a Lucho Acosta?
Hey yo, what the fuck?
That's beside the point. I hate this thing. I think there's way too much open space on the front and back. I don't like the generic Windows font featured on the front of this card. And I think that the lack of inclusion of numbered refractors is really a drawback. Not to mention the fact that I also think that this is one of the only times that you can really break out the die cut machine. I think it would work well for a card like this. And Topps just wants to use it on weird cards that have no business being die cuts. Sorry for the rant, but I hate this thing. Bowman Best's Him. Now, this card loses some points right off the bat due to it being kind of tied in with Topps' weird recent obsession with Gen Z and millennial meme culture and slang.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
But that being said, I actually don't hate it. Now, I know what you're thinking, Nut, you hate cards with massive words and writing in the background, and by and large that is true because I can't read. But this thing was perfect for me. It's only 3 letters. I was able to sound it out. I don't hate it. Hobby Master. Now, this is another Topps remastered card that is just kind of middle of the pack. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Don't necessarily despise the text. I think it's a nice way to pay homage back to the old version, but I could do without it. Supernova from Cosmic Chrome. The only reason this isn't another tier or 2 up is because it's not as rare as a lot of the cards that come from Cosmic Chrome, which is famous for having rare chases like the Planetary Pursuits. They made this thing in massive quantities, and they added numbered refractors, which isn't necessarily a con in and of itself. I will say the Black Eclipse version of this card looks absolutely phenomenal and would easily be in the S tier if we were ranking refractor versions, but the base card finds itself in the C tier.
Mom, can we have stained glass? We have stained glass at home. Stained glass at home.
Heavy Lumber. Who wouldn't love a card made out of wood? Now, I guess all cards are technically made out of wood when you think about it, but that's beside the point. These things are awesome. Hidden Gems. This is without a doubt one of the rarest and most valuable case hits on this list, and despite that, I like it, but I don't love it. I will say it does get some bonus points for utilizing the sparkle pattern, which we rarely see from Topps. Merlin Chrome's Match Ball Autograph. Quite frankly, the only negative of this card is that the name is only half true. It is autographed, but it does not contain a match ball. The panel of the ball featured in this card likely came off of a Dick's clearance rack and has not been used in a game, much like lots of Panini and Topps' memorabilia that they're putting in cards nowadays. Simple, well-themed, and to the point, but unfortunately printed in massive numbers. Platinum Anniversaries City Variation. Now, if you happen to open a pack of Platinum Anniversary and you came across one of these, you might not even know that it's a case hit, And I actually like that about it. It's classy and understated. It's almost like the downtown sophisticated cousin. The Man. This thing is a near faithful recreation of an old Topps hit, and they did a phenomenal job with this. I also love that they included numbered refractors and autographed versions. Well done, Topps. If you've never heard the tale of the Taco Fractor, get ready. This thing was part of, without a doubt, the most interesting promotion campaign Topps, or quite frankly any trading card company, has ever run. When they were released prior to the 2023 playoffs, it was announced by Topps' Twitter page that we should hold on to them and that each player would have 5 copies, but not much else was known about the card at that point. Later, and closer to the start of the playoffs, it was announced by Topps in conjunction with Taco Bell that any person holding a card of the player who stole the first base in the World Series would be awarded lifetime Taco Bell in the form of a $15,000 gift card, but still, lifetime Taco Bell. Awesome. I appreciate Topps paying us a bit of fan service here. I don't think there's a collector on earth that doesn't appreciate a good team color border match, and this thing just takes it to a new level. I'm a sucker for a gimmick, and that is exactly why the clear version of Topps' flagship design finds itself in the A tier. Plus, it's only limited to 10 copies, which is awesome. This is peak minimalist case hit design. Not a border, nor a word in sight other than a tasteful Topps logo. Easy A tier.
Mom, can we have downtown? There's downtown at home. Downtown at home.
The same company notorious for using non-associated jerseys, balls, and other relics in their cards has somehow not only managed to acquire the official Champions League draw card, but has put it in a massive trading card and accompanied it with an autograph. That's awesome. This might be the sole example of Topps replicating a Panini card and it actually coming out better than the initial product. The Tifo. This is another fantastic minimalist case hit that honors the football, sorry fellow Americans, tradition of the Tifo, which is an often choreographed show of flags, pyrotechnics, and other super interesting fan interactions. You thought the wave was cool? Wait until you see a fire-breathing dragon complete with flares and flapping wings, or Goku. An oil spill is admittedly a bit of a strange thing to take inspiration from, but quite frankly, I'm glad Topps did. These things look awesome.
Mom, can we have manga? No, there is manga at home. Manga at home.
Kicking off Tier S and the final tier of our video is the Berlin at Night. This is a new inclusion for this season found in Topps' Euro 2024 set, and it features a lit up version of the city of Berlin in the back of the card. Took me a second to realize that, but I love it. It's phenomenal. These things are awesome, and they are a welcome inclusion to a brand new set. Radiating Rookies. Full disclosure, this might be my favorite inclusion on this list. These things look so good. I love the molecular Topps logo, the radioactive-esque contrasting rays, and I love that the design carries over to the back of the card. Easy S tier. Bowman Chrome's Garbage Pail Kids. Topps absolutely knocked it out of the park with these ones.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Marquee rookies are reimagined in ironic and comedic ways relating to their team or their last name, something about the mascot, just really interesting designs, and I love the fact that Topps made numbered varieties. These things are already rare as it is, and the refractors make the chase that much more fun. Take the Topps set with arguably the very finest photography out there and slap a monotone gold coating on it, and you are left with this. A first ballot, no doubt unanimous case hit Hall of Famer. The Beam Team, again. Much like an unwanted sequel, the new Beam Team designs prove that it's often hard to replicate perfection. This is the perfection in question. This thing has stood the test of time for a reason. Kings and Queens. How could you not love this thing? It's like Cardception. The Celebration. This is easily my second favorite card on this entire list. I love the design, the photography is super interesting, and the numbered refractors look so good. They are incredible. I think the confetti looks interesting, it spices up the design, but doesn't necessarily make it look gaudy. Pull up a chair and I will tell you all about the Ballad of Bowman's Spotlight. When it was first introduced to the product, it was actually considered an insert. Topps and the public came together, they decided that this design was too fantastic to be considered such, so in subsequent releases of the product, they lowered the print runs and announced that it would indeed be a case hit. These things look phenomenal, the design is timeless, and numbered refractors. We have come to the end of our list, ladies and gentlemen, the Ultraviolet. Not the 2023 scary floating dismembered head version, but the 2024 version with a far groovier background and a much less creepy floating head. Thank you so much for watching. I've been talking into a camera for about 5 hours now. I am ready to get some sleep. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the Panini version of this video if you have not already. And thank you once more for watching. It really means the world to me. I appreciate it. Take care, everyone.